Did you ever see a movie where you really wanted to like it, but the movie keeps doing things that prevents you from doing so? It's kind of how I felt about Criminal. It had a great cast, it had a really cool idea, and it just kept doing dumb shit that prevented me from really enjoying it. To talk about that stuff, I'm going to have to get into some spoilers, so I'll talk about the movie for a little bit, and then when I'm going to get into spoilers, if you don't want the movie ruined, I will give a massive spoiler alert, so you can turn the thing off if you want to. Criminal is a spy thriller with Kevin Costner, Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, Gary Oldman, Tommy Lee Jones, Scott Adkins, Alice Eve. Just a great cast. So in the acting department, things were good. Actually, I always really liked Costner. He plays a guy named Jericho Stewart, and he's this criminal who feels no emotion, does not care about the consequences for his actions, and all of this stems back to something that happened to him when he was younger. It starts off with Ryan Reynolds. He's a CIA agent who's picked up a package and he's trying to go to a certain destination, and on the way there gets killed. They show this in the trailer. Gary Oldman is the chief executive guy of the CIA, and he needs the information that's in Ryan Reynolds' brain. So he enlists the help of Tommy Lee Jones, who's developed this way of taking the thoughts from a dead body and putting it into a live body. Although it only works on certain types of brains. And it just so happens that Kevin Costner, Jericho, is the one type of brain that they need. So they take him and they do the memory exchange, and now Jericho is starting to remember things from Ryan Reynolds' past. This includes his CIA training. Basically, he is now this badass that doesn't feel any remorse or any pity or anything. He just does what he has to do. He escapes, and then you find out that there's two groups after him, both trying to get the information in his head. It was good, but I kept feeling like it should have been better. With that kind of cast and with such an intriguing premise, it felt like maybe the script needed a little bit more work. It did have some funny moments. There were a couple of big surprises in the movie, some things that I didn't expect. And again, kudos. They seemed like they were trying. The directing was good, and I wanted to like this so much more, but the just dumb shit kept rearing its ugly head. Oh, and this is relatively new. You know how in my trailer video, how I talked about the voo thing? This is used to depict a very intense moment in the trailer, and often it's in slow motion. Well, it seems that now that's made its way into movies, because there were at least 3 or 4 times in the movie where there'd be an action sequence or something going on, and it would get quiet, and then voo. There's a part, they show it in the trailer, where Kevin Costner takes a car and drives it off a bridge. Silence, voo. Oh, God, stop it. It's bad enough we have to deal with this shit in trailers, and now they're inserting it into movies, and it was really irritating. I don't know if it annoyed anyone else, but it just drove me nuts. Criminal was pretty good. It had some flaws that really stopped me from being able to enjoy it more. Not bad, just okay. And I will now present the spoiler portion. If you want to see the movie and you don't want to have anything ruined, then turn it off now, and if you want, come back and listen to the rest later. Alright, first out of the gate, Tommy Lee Jones does this operation. He takes the memories out of Ryan Reynolds and puts them into Kevin Costner. Okay, cool. Right after the surgery's done, Gary Oldman comes in and he just starts yelling at Kevin Costner. You know who you are. You're Bill Pope, who was Ryan Reynolds' character, and you're going to tell me everything that you know. And he's just coming out of whatever drugs they had him on, and he's, what? What are you talking about? And he just starts yelling at me, don't fool me. You can tell me everything. And then Tommy Lee Jones is like, look, he's just coming out of the surgery. He's not going to remember everything right away. It's going to take a little bit of time. Here, let me give him this medicine that will help. And Gary Oldman's like, no, don't give him the stuff that's going to help him remember what I need to know. I'm going to yell at him some more. So he yells at him for about 2 minutes. Kevin Costner doesn't remember anything. And Tommy Lee Jones keeps saying, well, look, this is going to take time, and we don't have time. And then proceeds to be like, all right, well, he doesn't remember anything, so take him out back and shoot him. They went through all this trouble to do this surgery and get this guy and put the memories in his head, and they needed the information pronto. All they had to do was just wait a little while, give him some time to remember, and they couldn't do that, so take him out back and shoot him. Don't put him in a jail cell, maybe hold on to him for a little while and wait to see if maybe he does remember something. Nope, just kill him. Like, seriously, he interrogated him for maybe 3 minutes before just throwing his hands up in the air and being like, all right, well, he doesn't know anything, so kill him. So, of course, there's a couple of agents that are taking him out, and he kills those guys and escapes. The first place he goes to is Gal Gadot's house, where her and Ryan Reynolds lived with her kid, and he breaks in and robs the joint. They find out that he escaped, and they're chasing after him, and then later on in the film, he goes back to Gal Gadot's house, and he ends up staying there for like a day. I'm like, why wouldn't the CIA have this place under surveillance? This is stupid. They know at this point that he's started to remember Ryan Reynolds' memories. They wouldn't think that he'd go back there. Just on the off chance, send a black and white over. Just have him wait outside the house or, keep an eye on things. Because he wasn't being stealthy or anything. He was sleeping on the couch. He's outside in broad daylight. Going back a little bit, the first thing that he does when he breaks into the house earlier in the film, he duct tapes Gal Gadot and scares the hell out of her. And then later in the movie, he comes back and Gal Gadot is afraid of him and she's carrying a gun around because she might have to shoot him. And he's trying to explain to her what happened, how her husband's brain is now in his brain. And she's really scared of this guy who is crazy and he might kill them. And she keeps letting him be alone around her daughter. There's a point in the movie where they're outside and she's all freaked out. Oh my God, he's outside with it. Well, why wouldn't you keep an eye on this guy or tell the girl to stay away from him? And then later in the film, same thing. The daughter's playing the piano and she's off nowhere. And then all of a sudden, Kevin Costner shows up and, hey, let's play piano together. And then she shows up and she's all shocked. Honey, you should go to bed. Yeah, well, stop letting your daughter be around somebody who you think might kill her. The other thing, and this isn't the movie's fault, this is the marketing's fault, there was a major thing towards the end of the film that would have been cool, but they showed it in the trailer, and there wasn't any context. But when the movie's going along and you see what's happening, you're like, oh, okay, this is what's going to happen. Okay, essentially, double spoiler. They show you in the trailer how the villain dies. Why the hell would you do that? Infuriating. Not the movie's fault. The stupid marketing department's fault. Criminal had the potential to be a really fantastic crime thriller, and I wanted to like it so much, but as I said, the dumb things really just kept knocking the sheen off of it. The potential was there to be really cool, but it ended up being just disappointing.